Hey, what's up everyone? It's Doug with Retro Geek Gaming, here to bring you another YouTube video discussion. Thank you for joining me today. I think I got the whole situation with YouTube under control now, to my videos should be uploading regularly again, but I was just having some difficulty thinking about what topic I wanted to do. Mostly because of the fact that I don't know the features of the Switch yet, so it might be difficult for me to come up with fan theory videos as far as what I would like to see with Switch games, because I don't really know 100% what it's capable of doing, but based upon what I have seen of the Switch and what I know the Switch is capable of doing, I can probably come up with a few videos, but it's very difficult when you know the features of the Wii and the Wii U and the 3DS, and they're all basically retired systems at this point that Nintendo is no longer basically supporting, to be able to go forward and like, well, yeah, these games would be great for the Wii U. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the point of this video. What I want to talk about, before I talk about the fan theory videos, because this is probably going to be a little bit confusing, because I want to talk about Switch games that I want to see. And that's going to be different from the fan theory videos, because the fan theory videos are going to be more talking about, similar to what that video that I did, Nintendo Land 2, How Could It Work? In which basically I'm taking a game that Nintendo could release for the Switch, and how it could work, based upon the features that the Switch offers and what I want to see it be capable of doing for that console. So that's completely different from me just sitting and talking about these are games that I want to see, because this is a wish list. These are games that might not even come out for the Switch, you know what I'm saying? But these are games that I would love to see, that I really think would hit it home, because Nintendo, you have the best system coming out. Like, this is literally the best system. It is your most efficient console, because it's both a portable and a console. You've got developers for both on it, so you're going to have a consistent string of games coming out. You've got it to it's powerful. You got developers saying that are powerful, so you got the backing. This is the time to hit hard. You know, don't do like you did with the Wii U and try to rely more on third-party developers to come out for it. Come out with your own stuff. Have third-party developers come out for it, and at least once a month have a game coming out for it to keep this thing supported. And it's going to be very hard to keep that steam rolling. I understand, because look at the PS4, it's starting to lose its momentum, because it's very difficult to keep that momentum going after so many years. But if you hit hard and you have the features and the third-party developers behind it, you can keep a steady stream of games coming for it. I have faith in you. But just in case, because I know that nobody watches my videos, let's face it, but just in case you need some assistance with games, I heard of some games that you are supposed to be working for the Switch, so some of these may be confirmed later on. But I also have my own list of games that I would like to see come out for the Switch, and you're always welcome to put down in the comments below games that you want to see come out for the Switch, whether they're third-party developers, second-party developers that work hand-in-hand to bring an exclusive like Bayonetta 2, or if they're just first-party games, old, like haven't been supported in 20 years, kind of reboot kind of things. Anything that you want to see, I'd love to hear. But as of me, you're probably not going to hear any HD remasters. I'm sorry, I just don't believe in HD remasters. That's just me. But there might be some in there, because I do know that it is beneficial based upon how you do it, and I'll get more into that later. So, first things first of this. Games that I want to see come out for the Switch, as far as from Nintendo themselves, which I think is the key thing. Because Nintendo, you have to support your system. That was the best part about the Wii, was that even though you came out with like a balance board and people were like, what do we do with this thing? You came out with games that supported the balance board to show people how to use it. I think that that's the best thing, is to come out with your own set of games to show people how to use the Switch. And then it can be up to them to support it how they want, add some different features in there and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about the features that I want to see for the Switch in a different video. But as far as first-party games, we already know that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is coming out for it. Excellent. A game that I've been looking forward to since you basically announced the Wii U. Breath of the Wild obviously the most ambitious Zelda game probably ever in existence. I expect this thing to sell through the roof. And yes, as a huge Legend of Zelda fan, I'm definitely looking forward to this game. I also would like to see a Metroid game. I would personally like other M style. I like the whole, 2.3D thing. Mostly just because there's nothing wrong with the Prime series. But I think that it would be more beneficial for you to show off the hardware capabilities of a third-person, over-the-shoulder, shooter, kind of like Uncharted or Gears of War, I guess. Something that focuses more on the action, but can also go into first person if you want it to, but doesn't have to, But that's more down the line for a fan theory as far as how I think that could work. But a Metroid game, even if it is a Prime game, even if it is something like Metroid Prime 3 Corruption was, where it's just, you're using the Joy-Cons like Wii remotes to aim and all that stuff. I'm cool with it. As long as you make it to where it is the best game available and it's not a silly spin-off like Federation Force was. Nothing wrong with Federation Force, but something that can really show that you're serious about Metroid. I personally want to see Luigi's Mansion 3. I heard that they were working on a third Luigi's Mansion, because we got, who was it that developed Dark Moon? Next Level Games, I think. They're on the list of developers for the Switch, so I would definitely love to see them come out with a third Luigi's Mansion game, something that plays just like the GameCube version, pretty much. I mean, you got the Switch now that has two, analog controllers. Let's have this thing play like the GameCube game. And you can actually have it to where you can actually, shoot stuff out, bring stuff in with the vacuum, have it play similar to the GameCube version, but still has, a lot of the fun stuff that was in Dark Moon and stuff like that. We'll get into that more with a fan theory when I think more about what I wanted to do, but you get what I'm saying. Now, I'm not much into the series myself, but I think that an F-Zero game definitely needs to come out. Another F-Zero game that has this thing running at its max. If this system is capable of doing 1080p 60 frames per second, show it. Just boom. High speed, fast processing action. Just show off the system's capabilities, Something else that I would like to see is a Kid Icarus game. That's just me. I had a lot of fun playing Kid Icarus Uprising on my 3DS. So I think that a new Kid Icarus game that again is showing off the capabilities, and since there's no touchscreen on this, having it to where you can actually play the game the way that it should have been played with, what was that, the Circle Pad Pro, the way that it should have been played, where you could have played it with, moving around and aiming like that. That could be fun. That could be really fun. And again, if you want to have it to maybe the Joy-Con and you use it for motion to move around and aim, I'm cool with that too. A Star Fox game, I know we just got a Star Fox game for the Wii U. And there was nothing wrong with the way that Star Fox played, but I really thought that it was kind of underwhelming as far as what it could do for the Wii U. So, and you don't have to come out with it immediately because we did just get a Star Fox recently from the past couple of years. So you could probably wait a year or two for a Star Fox to come out, but I would like to see a Star Fox for the Switch that again is using the full capabilities of the system. A lot of action, a lot of stuff, maybe even a bullet hell kind of game to where there's just a lot of stuff that's coming at you and you gotta move quickly, have a lot of skill. And, again, if you have Platinum Games work on it, it should be a lot more action-packed and have a lot more fast-moving stuff. Big epic boss fights, again, just have this thing working to the best capabilities of it, and I think you'll be able to do it a lot better since you won't have a gamepad where you're trying to incorporate that gamepad in a way towards taking away from the processing power of the game. But again, more for a fan theory kind of thing down the road. And I would like to apologize if this video is kind of sporadic and all over the place. My mind isn't all here right now. I'm a tad bit sick. trying to fight that, and I'm also trying to think. So I might jump around a little bit, but I'm going to try and stay on point as much as possible. But while we're talking about Platinum Games, though, I want to see some Platinum Games on this thing. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see a Bayonetta 3. That again, because Bayonetta 2 was a good game, and it just mirrored on the gamepad what you were doing on the screen. But again, without that screen there, I think you could do a lot more. Bring a lot more fast-paced action. Again, have this thing running just beautifully and smoothly and show off the capabilities of the system. Have people drooling over Bayonetta, you know. And I heard, and this would be really cool if you did, I heard that there was going to be a Vanquish 2. And then Nintendo was going to do the same thing like they did with Bayonetta. That they were going to re-release Vanquish in sort of a high-definition thing, and Vanquish 2. And that'd be cool, because I have Vanquish for my PS3. I really loved playing Vanquish. It was a really fun game. And I would definitely play a Vanquish 2, because it's just a really neat game. All kinds of, again, fast-paced action. And if that is what's going to be coming to the Switch, then we automatically know what the Switch is going to be about. It's going to be about attracting hardcore gamers again and having that fast-paced action, showing off the capabilities of the system. I think it's going to be really, really good. I would like to see an Eternal Darkness 2. My understanding is that Nintendo still owns the rights to Eternal Darkness, so I'd love to see an Eternal Darkness 2 come out. But I believe that is currently Shadows of the Eternals or something like that. I think that game is still coming out, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, let's see here. A Fatal Frame game. Yeah, Nintendo owns Fatal Frame. And I really enjoyed Maiden of the Black Water. Again, a little bit underwhelming because of the way they did it. I thought that a physical release and more hype behind it could have really have helped it. But the game did have a lot of great stuff within it, you know? And I think that if you, again, use the Switch properly, again, maybe with like a VR headset kind of thing to where the tablet hooks up to it and you have the Joy-Cons to, you know, to move around and look. I think that you could have a really great thriller of a game with Fatal Frame, depending upon what you do with the Switch. VR is just I hear that's going to be VR ready and have AR with it. And I know that you had that spiritual successor, Spirit Camera for the 3DS that used AR. So having a Fatal Frame game that uses VR just makes me think of like Resident Evil 7 kind of stuff, you know? Like it could be really interesting, really neat stuff. And then you have to like take pictures and stuff. I think it could be really neat with some applications in it. Let's see here. What else? From third-party developers, I would love to see... and I kind of consider these third-party developers because they are developers that publish these games. And as far as I know, they still have the rights to it, but they came out only for the Nintendo's consoles. So you might consider them second-party. But I'd love to see a Red Steel 3. Again, Red Steel 2 was, you know, a great example of using your technology. Red Steel 3, I think, could really bring a lot as far as showing off, again, capabilities of the system. And again, this is all depends upon what you want to do with it. This is the reason why I suggested that Metroid be a third-person game, because I think if you showed off a Metroid Prime first-person shooter and a Red Steel 3 first-person shooter and all these first-person shooters, that people are just going to like, it's just a first-person shooter system. So I kind of suggest switching stuff up a little bit, like what you did with the GameCube. Just kind of, you know, takes some of your franchises and sort of mesh them up a little bit, change them up like you're doing with Zelda. That's the only reason why I'm suggesting this. But yeah, with the Red Steel 3, could be a great action-packed first-person shooter, single-player game. Then you could have the Conduit 3 come out, wrap up the story with the Conduit, and have that be your online multiplayer game that uses voice chat and all that stuff. It'd be really great to do. Now, I'd also love to see a No More Heroes 3. That's just me, but No More Heroes is over-the-top, fun action. A Mad World 2 would be nice, but I'm guessing since they came out with another game that features the same character, I'm guessing Mad World 2 is out of the question at this point. Let's see here. Oh, Animal Crossing. You gotta have an Animal Crossing. An actual Animal Crossing, please. Not Amiibo Party. An actual Animal Crossing, like New Leaf, like City Folk. You know what I'm saying? And again, that would be a great game. That would be a perfect sim. You know, open your gates up, have people come visit your town. Use voice chat. Again, another thing for a fan theory kind of down the road. Let's see here. What else? Again, it's really just going to depend upon third-party developers and what they want to bring. You know, third-party developers, I'd love to see Assassin's Creeds come. I'd love to see... I'm not really going to be... I'm honest with you, I'm probably not going to buy that many third-party games. Because mostly for the Wii and the Wii U and even the GameCube, honestly. Most of the games that I have are exclusive to that system. Like Jet Force Gemini, for example. I have Jet Force Gemini for my Nintendo 64, and I'd love to see another Jet Force Gemini game, whether it's just a reboot, probably the only time that I would ever suggest Nintendo do a reboot, with Rare, although that's probably going to be very difficult, because Rare owns it, but it really just depends upon if they can play nice like that. But a Jet Force Gemini sequel would be really cool. Ukulele needs to come to this thing, I think. We already know Sonic's coming, so there's no point talking about that. We know that we're going to get a Mario game, so that's just out of the question at this point. We know a Mario game's coming, there's no point in me suggesting it. Kirby's probably going to come, even though I don't care for Kirby, but we know Kirby's going to come. What else? More likely a Mario Party will come. Like I said, I guess it just depends upon the developers and what they want. I was just giving some ideas as far as what I want to see, and I'm going to talk about it more in additional fan theories as far as like, hey, I came up with an idea for this. But just like what I was talking about, it really depends upon what developers want to do. Like, I would love to see an Eternal Darkness 2, but if the developers that are working on Shadows of the Eternals or whatever it's called want to bring it to the Switch, by all means, please bring it. If they want to actually create an actual successor with Eternal Darkness 2, then by all means, please work with them on it. It really just depends upon what developers want to do with this. But yeah, a lot of great stuff that could come to the system, a lot of great potential. And I'm probably missing something somewhere, you know, because I don't really know. Beyond Good and Evil, I think would be nice, especially if they do like what they were talking about doing with Vanquish, in which they re-release the first game again, as well as give a sequel. I think that'd be really great too. But this video has gone over 18 minutes, I can see at this point, so I'm not going to really go too much into detail about games that I want to see, because there are so many possibilities with this. So many developers are on board with this, so it's going to be really difficult for me to sit and go, ooh, please bring this, and this, and this, and this, and this, because more likely whatever you bring to it, I'm probably going to buy and play and love, because that's what I've done. I bought Zombie U, and I loved it, and I bought New Super Mario U, and I loved it, and, you know, Bayonetta 2, and I loved it, and you know, I've been buying Nintendo games practically my whole life, and every time that I play them, I get this exuberance within me, and it really just sort of adds life back to me again. So I'm sure that whatever you come out with, I'm going to really love and enjoy. But I think that the main thing that you need to do, that we're going to talk about when we get to the features, is just bring consistency across the board. But that's going to be my 2 cents for this now. I don't really want to keep talking about this forever and keep dragging it out. I appreciate you guys watching me, as always. If you watch me this long, I really appreciate it, because I know that I'm going on almost 20 minutes of ranting here. And again, make sure you put it down in the comments below what you'd like to see come to the Switch, as far as game-wise. And join me for when we talk about features that I'd want to see come to the Nintendo Switch. Like this video if you liked it, that way I know that you saw it all the way to the end and that you enjoyed the content. And subscribe if you like, because hopefully now I've got the situation with YouTube taken care of, so I'll be uploading regularly again. And again, you can also feel free to follow me on Twitter if you want at RetroGeek Gaming. Otherwise, guys, thanks for joining me. Have yourself a good one, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, and sorry for the long-winded video. See ya.